Maki. This time, it's a bizarre story I heard in Korea about how a shaman's warning saved a family. The main character is a woman named Ji-young. In 2017, after the pain of a divorce, she and her 2 children went to stay with her parents for a while. But strangely, a few months after she moved in, a series of terrible misfortunes began to strike, one after another. Her mother, who had always been healthy, suddenly collapsed and was hospitalized. A short time later, her father was nearly crushed by a forklift in a major accident and almost had to have his leg amputated. And it didn't end there. Strangely, both of her children started getting hurt constantly, falling down every single day, their bodies always covered in bruises. Feeling desperate, Ji-young went to visit various famous shamans. But everywhere she went, they all said the same thing. They told her that she had a divine calling and needed to perform shin-na-rim, a ritual in Korea where you formally accept the spirits to become a shaman yourself. If she didn't, they warned that even greater misfortune would befall her family. But Ji-young didn't believe them. Then one day, on her way to a stationery store for her kids' school supplies, she felt an inexplicable pull towards a strange, unfamiliar building. It was a small shrine. Inside, a remarkably young-looking female shaman, a Bo-Sol, was sitting. The moment Ji-young walked in, the shaman began to speak, revealing things she couldn't possibly know. She knew about the recent divorce and even Ji-young's recent legal name change. Goosebumps covered Ji-young's entire body. Thinking the shaman might know something, she cautiously told her about her family's misfortunes and the warnings that she needed to become a shaman. But the shaman's answer was unexpected. She said Ji-young didn't need to go through with the ritual. While she did have some spiritual energy, it wasn't strong enough to require becoming a full shaman. The family's misfortunes, she said, were happening for a different reason. This is what the shaman said. Ji-young, a mother, had been holding ancestral memorial rites, called Daesu in Korea, for her husband's first wife who had passed away. The spirit of that first wife was unhappy with the food being offered. She didn't like the sungaemyeong, a sea urchin and seaweed soup, and wanted a simple beef and radish soup instead. The shaman said the spirit was throwing tantrums, and that's what was causing the children to constantly slip and fall. Ji-young was skeptical, but she decided to try it, thinking she had nothing to lose. At the next memorial rite, she offered beef and radish soup. And Maki, it was truly miraculous. From that day on, her children never had another fall. Ji-young came to trust the young shaman deeply, and they became close, like friends. Then one day, she received a frantic phone call from the shaman. The shaman, who always spoke in a formal, respectful tone, was suddenly shouting at her informally. Ji-young, you have to stop your older sister. Make her stop what she's doing right now. And then the call abruptly ended. A sense of foreboding washed over Ji-young, and she immediately called her older sister. Her sister happened to be at the hospital with their ailing father. But when Ji-young asked what she was doing, her sister mumbled something about trimming their father's nails and quickly hung up, leaving her with the strange words, "Everything will be okay, Ji-young." In that moment, Ji-young understood everything. She remembered her sister mentioning a visit to a powerful shrine a few months ago. Ji-young raced to the hospital. There, she found a small pouch in her sister's hand containing their father's nail clippings and hair. Her sister tearfully confessed everything. The other shaman had told her that their father had less than a year to live. To extend his life, she was about to perform a ritual called Daesu-daemyeong. Maki, do you know what Daesu-daemyeong is? It's a terrifying form of black magic. It literally means to substitute a life, to extend a life, to steal the lifespan from one person and give it to another who is fated to die. When Ji-young called her shaman friend to tell her this, the shaman reacted in horror. She said the ritual her sister was about to perform was designed to sacrifice the youngest blood relative in the family, her sister's own 2-year-old son. The young shaman knew this because, while praying for Ji-young's father, she had felt the spirits of an old man and a young woman and heard the sound of nail clipping, all dangerously entangled with the aura of a small child. Ji-young rushed to stop her sister, and the terrible tragedy was averted. Her father, who was supposed to die within a year, is still alive and healthy 3 years later. The bizarre battle between two shamans, one who tried to save a family and one who tried to use a family member as a sacrifice. Does fate really exist?